Yo, yo, hello, hello. We are back. I hope the volume is good. My phone is on delay, so I can't double check, but I hope you can hear me, Sean. I hope everything is good and I am not muted. I am known
You
to remain on mute.
you are good.
Um,
You sound
Word.
wonderful.
All right, fantastic. Okay, cool. I heard it on my phone. Fantastic. So we will be shooting the shit here and going over a lot of stuff that I need to catch up on. So I figured might as well have you on here and have someone to go back and forth with on it and remind me of stuff that I may have forgotten about or just correct me or whatever. Just have a second opinion. So we'll kind of be all over the place and go over, like I said, a good amount of topics, but we won't be here too long. I say that, and then normally I'm here for hours, but it's a work night, y'all, and it is a little bit later in the evening when we're getting started. So you know, at least we're here, right? They say better late than never.
That's right.
So,
That's right. We're
but how are
here.
you, Sean? How are you? We chatted a little bit before, but officially, how are you?
No, I'm doing wonderful. It's always like I said. I'm just thankful you always ask me to be on here every once in a while, and it's good to just to like I said, shoot the crap with you and just hang out and talk some wrestling, and it's good. I just it's always fun. I always enjoy it.
Heck yeah, man. I am super happy to have you. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about. Um, I don't even know where to start, so I'll just throw it to you. Where, as Cody would say, what do you want to talk about? Where do you
Oh
want to start?
yes. Well, let's do it. I mean, I guess we'll talk about the Cody Randy. I'm definitely curious of what you've thought about what they've done so far. I guess I'll talk about what I've thought of it. I know people are nervous. Isn't I like a little bit? I mean, I'm definitely nervous of the way they're going about it because again, I know people are saying there's nothing Randy can do to get booed. Like everybody's just going to love Randy at this point in his career. He's just super over, which he is. I agree. I mean, he's a legacy star now. He's it's hard not to pop for the RKO and pop for certain things and all, this and that and the other. I thought what they did when he first attacked Cody was, I mean, it was really well. I thought it was well done. I thought it was really good for what they were going for because they didn't cheer. When he first attacked him, they didn't pop. I mean, they were surprised that he did it when he did.
Yeah, they're definitely
'Cause-
surprised.
Yeah, because I thought they told the well of Cody's like, hey, I know the voices are starting to talking, in your head, they're moving around, but whatever happens, I still love you. And then boom, it's just like he just goes off, and it was really well done. And yeah, they had a little bit of Randy chance toward the end when he kind of sat on the chair and kind of was holding the belt. And there's gonna be some of that, but I thought what they did that night was well done. I thought with Rain. I mean, because I think they're going to make. In my opinion, I think there's a good story here. All the backstory they have with between them anyway, all the friendship over the years, all the stuff going on. I think they're going to tell a good story. I'm very confident that they're going to make this work to where Randy will officially get booed. And I think with Cody, I'm obviously glad he wasn't on TV last week. I was really worried that he was going to be back right away, and I was like, they
Yeah,
do have to milk the 1 week at least where
at
he's not
least.
there. And I think Cody is obviously better because he's still over. It's not as hard, big as it was. I mean, I know you agree with me. It's not what it was a couple years ago for sure. It's cooled off a little bit, but my thing is the booking with him just hasn't been as strong since he won the title initially. Like they just haven't booked good stories and things to really sink his kind of character's teeth into. And so now you have something where again you have Cody as more of a sympathetic guy that's dealing with stuff, that's got a guy that's on the loose that's just going crazy. And I think with all the backstory they have, I think this can get Cody back to where he needs to be. The only question I've been thinking in my head during this whole thing is who's gonna win? Because I think they want Randy to win his 15th. And that's what's so big about this. Like this could be Randy's 15th, and I think it would be good in a way because I know we're talking, but Mania's almost here, right? It's almost here. It'll be here before you know it. And I think Cody being on the chase is better for him. Cody being on the chase is what gets him more over because he
Oh
can
yeah.
sink his teeth into something going back after that. Um, so I think what they've done so far, the only thing I didn't mind it, but I didn't really love Randy going after Cardona only because it's fine. I mean, yes, we know Cardona and Cody are very close. That's why he did it because they're really good friends, behind the scenes and all that stuff. But is Cardona really to the point where most people would cheer Randy beating up Matt Cardona. Most people that watch WWE all the time don't really. Matt Cardona's just kind of there. He's been on TV for a few weeks, and he's just kind of. It's not that big a deal. He beats up Matt Cardona. Nobody's gonna get that
Yeah.
tizzy over it. So that was just kind of like okay, and we knew he was gonna do it. It's like okay, is Cardona that stupid to think that Randy was really trying to apologize? Come on, like Randy. We all know Randy that he's probably not sorry. He's probably gonna attack you. So it kind of made him look like a dope too. I was like, this is kind of stupid. But so I want to hear what you thought about it. That's kind of my thoughts initially. So I want to hear what you thought. What you've thought so far.
Yeah, man. So I'm not too far off from you. I still, even kind of looking back on the whole, like when he lost to Drew, and Drew had it for what, like a month, maybe a little over a month, and then lost it back to Cody.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't even against. I know a lot of people were like, there was like a backlash over Drew losing and Cody regaining the championship and kind of having the same old shit type feeling. Some people called him like the next Roman and stuff. I think that's a bit dramatic. To me, we are kind of lucky that we even got a Drew run when we did during the road to WrestleMania,
Yeah, that's
because
true. Yeah.
they are known to try to be somewhat, I don't want to say like they normally try to do some type of swerve or at least one big angle going into WrestleMania, but normally you don't see a major title change, especially so close. So I was surprised to see that. It sucks. I mean, yeah, it sucks, right? That Drew wasn't able to hold on to it longer.
Yeah.
Personally, would I want him to? Of course, but realistically, like, it makes so much more sense for Cody to go into Mania than it does for Drew. So it sucks, but it just kind of is what it is. At least that's my mindset on that portion of it. Part of me is though, like, once I really thought about it, I was like, man, like, was it even really beneficial though to Drew? And I think overall it was. I think that it may have hurt him a little bit losing it so soon, and I don't know. Like, I still have mixed feelings on Drew as a whole going forward, and it sucks that he's not going to be involved in the title picture. He's most likely going to be lined up with Jacob Fatu, which that's going to be a good match, and
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I obviously, big fan of Jacob Fatu. He's going to be phenomenal in the future. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what they do with Drew going forward after Mania, because honestly, like, I see him losing to Jacob. So if that's the case, like, it sucks to be Drew, like,
I know. Yeah, it
like,
does.
I'm sure I'm not even, I'm sure, like, I know he understands his role and the position that he's in, but I don't know, like, it just, in the back of the mind, dude, it's still like, damn, like, I don't know. But it's kind of like Bailey, like, she got her moment, like, she got her big moment, but it's still like when she doesn't win the big one, or she's not in that spot, it's like, what are you really going to do with her going forward? And it's like her story is always trying to get back to the title, and it's not as dramatic as Drew, but
Right.
I don't know, man. But in regard to Cody and Randy, I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't played on their history more. So I'm wondering if that's going to be what they get into the closer we get to Mania.
Yeah.
Because you have to think, like, especially the SmackDown going into Mania weekend, now that Mania is Saturday and Sunday, that Friday is primarily for things like matches that can't make the Mania card itself, right? Like, what was it last year, the year before, we had that TLC match. They're gonna throw the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on there and shit like that. I think the Hall of Fame is slotted for after SmackDown now, but still, like, that's not really a show that anything big is gonna happen on. Like, it's pretty much just gonna be video packages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that week, and maybe not as much Raw, but definitely SmackDown. So that week is pretty much canceled out. So we have what, 2 weeks essentially for build remaining going into Mania when you think about it.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that's fair.
I don't know what they're gonna do story wise going forward. And that sounds like I'm down on it, and I'm not. Like, I think it was fantastic what they did. I loved how Randy turned rather. Like you said, it was pretty. I don't. I say unexpected, but we all like assumed it was coming, right? So it was just unexpected, like for me at that moment. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, with just the way that segment was going, I wasn't necessarily expecting it then. I was thinking maybe it was going to be possibly at Mania itself. Maybe it was a situation where Randy loses and then he snaps, or maybe it's, the dreaded referee is down and there's a moment he snaps, then he turns, does whatever he's going to do, and then gets the 1, 2, 3, and we go from there. Not saying that's really fulfilling, right? But I didn't know if it was going to be one of those moments, kind of like Stone Cold, right, where you try to make this big dramatic turn, this big scene, and go from there. But I like how it played out. I think Randy is going to win. Like you said, Cody is better on the chase.
Mm-hmm.
But man, like, I'm not even really trying to see him on the chase right now. Again, Cody is kind of one of those weird characters where if he's not in the chase, like, what is he really doing? And I don't know, because like even with Drew, it was a matter of the title, and every feud that he's had outside of it has been getting back to the title. So I don't know. I don't know. But that's not the problem for now. We are going into Mania right now. And I think this match honestly has stolen some of the hype from Roman and Punk. We'll probably segue into that next, start off with the two big main events. But I think the way Randy delivered it, the follow up so far, you're gonna get cheers for him regardless, right? So it's, you can't really fight that, but so much you just kind of have to, accept that, anticipate it, and move forward.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of him not playing into it as much. So
Right. And he'll,
yeah,
I think he'll do some other things too, obviously. But that's the thing about this feud is, even though if they don't maybe tell the whole story before Mania, it's going to be a long feud. It's going to be for a while. I mean, they got plenty of time to tell the story, like after Mania, and
yeah,
I think it's going to be there for a little while. So I want them to tell some of it the next few weeks, obviously. But they can go into Mania and tell a good story there, and then just kind of build from it past that. And I think. I think they'll make this work. I really do. I think Cody. There's still so much to do, even though, like I said, he does feel. I'm not saying he doesn't feel colder, because he does, but I just think it's because of the booking. I don't think it's because of him necessarily. I just think
yeah,
he hasn't had a lot there to really have good. Any even the Drew feud was good initially, but then it just went so long, and it's like, okay. And going back to Drew, I did want to say about him real quick is I mean, I'm with you. Even though they value Drew to a degree, it still feels like there's always something that they just don't run with it. They just kind of, he's there for a little bit, and then he just kind of, even though I think his character is in a better place because he's been such a great heel through this whole run, it does feel like there's so much more they could do and they could get out of him as a champion
mm-hmm,
heel. And I think, obviously, we know, years ago when I mean, again, I don't harp on it because, I mean, it is what it was, but it was just so frustrating at the time because he had just gotten so over before that. He was so over as a babyface, and the way he won the title, even in the Performance Center, was so really well done, and it was so good. And then he just never got a chance to do that in front of fans. Then when he got back, it was fine, but it just wasn't the same. And then now as a heel, the fans are really into him as a heel. He's a cool heel, but he gets booed because he just talks out of his mouth and he says his own truths, which aren't true, but they're his truths. But it's fun to listen
Mm-hmm.
to, and it's fun to get after him in a good way. But yeah, there's something I think they could have done more with him as champion for sure. I wish they would have gotten a little more out of it. But like you said, him and Fatu will be a fun match. But again, he won't win, and it's like I hope to have something good for him in these next because but I just don't see them doing much with him, and that's kind of it is unfortunate because I think he's great.
Yeah. No, man, and like I said, I don't want to sound down on it. I'm super pumped for it. I'm just more surprised than anything that the follow up after the initial turn for Randy wasn't more based on anything from their history. And maybe I just kind of incorrectly assumed that's where they were going to go with it. And I kind of dig that they have it. It allows for, like you said, a lot more substance to be dug into throughout SummerSlam if they want to drag it on for an extended amount of time. Because if and when Randy does win, I don't see it being a quick run. I see this one most likely being his last. I don't see him making it to number 16. I think that it was just, I think it was I don't even think it's forced, to be honest with you. I think it kind of checks off a lot of boxes. It gets him into number 15. It lets him break that, that even run that he had with Triple H, which I hope he actually pulls the trigger and, lets that be a thing. But yeah, it would allow him to go into 15. So have his own slot there, which isn't necessarily like a selling point or a storyline talking point. It's just like, just a cool stat. But TV wise, his character, it makes sense and it doesn't feel forced. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, they didn't have anything else for Cody to do, so like we'll just go to Randy now. At least in my opinion, I think that it's one of those situations where they kind of were right to wait as long as they did. I'm still surprised that they did. I think they had that one match, but that's been it. That wasn't even like a hostility match or anything like that. It was just but that was the end of the tournament, right? Was that the end of the King of the Ring tournament, or I forget how they ended up meeting. Was it for the King of the Ring tournament? I forget, but
I believe so.
But yeah, it was just one of those things where, and it was I think one of the Saudi shows, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so it does allow for a lot of time, and I hope after WrestleMania, going with the idea that Cody is going to be the one to lose, I hope that he takes a month off or so, because that provides time, right, to add to the story and kind of, I don't say drag it out in a bad way, but allow it to extend. But it allows Randy time to be established, to gloat on that first SmackDown afterwards, and then to kind of be established and go from there. And then kind of out of nowhere, you'll have Cody come back, and then they'll go into whether it's going to be Money in the Bank, because I don't know if they're going to be in a stadium this year for Money in the Bank or not. But yeah, either start it there and then go into SummerSlam, or wait. I don't see them waiting until SummerSlam or anything crazy like that. But yeah. I forgot to say hey to everyone. What's up to everyone in the chat? What up, E? What up, Mohammed? What up, Fernando? What up? What up? I had turned the comment on the screen a little bit ago, so forgot to say hey to everyone. What's up, E? Yeah, dude, I've been late. I know a lot's been going on, my friend, but I'm happy to be back. Mohammed, I'm doing fantastic. I think Sean is as well.
Yes. I just can't super chat because I'm on here now, so I can't super chat. But
no,
that's okay.
I appreciate that though always. But Fernando, what's up, dude? And you think Cody should win?
Oh,
okay.
See, I mean that's fair. I mean that's again I love Cody. I just don't. I mean, they wouldn't do this for Randy just to lose. I mean, what point does that make? He's got to win 15 at Mania. I just don't see why you would have, because I think eventually Cody's going to end up winning the feud, but you can't do it right away.
Yeah.
You got to move on past it for a while and let it build. So yeah, I mean, as much as I love Cody, and would it be cool if he retained. I mean, yeah, it'd be fine, but I just don't know how it would help the story build. I don't know where you'd go from there. Unless Randy just
Yeah.
goes crazy off the deep end. I mean, I guess you could have him lose and just go crazy, but then maybe do the fans cheer him really crazy if he does go even more nuts? I mean, maybe the fans just love it even more. I don't know. I mean, Randy's got to make it work, and I think he will. But I don't think the way it's going right now, I don't see Cody just retaining at Mania. I think you got to have Randy win.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I don't think it's a matter of Randy Orton getting established. Fernando said Randy Orton doesn't need to get established. He's Randy Orton. He's been established for a very long time, and that's facts, dude.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Yeah.
But I don't think it's a matter of him getting established. It's a matter of extending. I hate to use this word, but extending his legacy and extending this multiple stories going forward. And that's the whole
Mm-hmm.
point of wrestling. Like he's still, I don't want to call him necessarily full time, obviously, but he is a little bit more than part time. He has taken, some time off, but that's when he's been injured, really. Like he has been around besides the time when he has had some serious issues. So, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
point where he had that really bad back injury and we didn't even know if he was going to be able to come back for a while. So, I'm stoked to have him. Like I said, I don't think it's a matter of like, oh, you need to establish Randy
No, not at
or
all.
he needs to like lead the ship or anything like that. Because I don't think they're in a bad place. And if Cody were to win, I wouldn't I wouldn't be down on it. I would just want to know where they're going after that. And then, like you said, unless it's a matter of Randy goes off the deep end right after that, and that extends their feud. But
And the whole point is he needs that title. Like that's the whole point of what he said. I need that title. Like
yeah,
I just need it. I mean, why would he just lose the I mean, I just don't it wouldn't make any sense in the story they're trying to tell.
yeah.
I wouldn't get it.
Especially with the turn. Like it'd be one thing if Randy was still just like this Randy we've had for months now, years, whatever you want to call it. If he was still that same dude, then I would be probably leaning a little bit more to Cody retaining.
Hmm.
Unless, like
Then
I said
Randy
earlier,
snapping. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But man, with them, they did that turn when they did it for a reason. With I don't say necessarily a long term goal, but with Mania goal in mind. So yeah, I think Mania is it for Cody, and I think it should be. Like he has been in the main event scene at WrestleMania now for what
4 years.
4 years? Yeah. So dude doesn't need to. I mean, he did lose. Well, he won the first one, lost the second, won the third, and then
No
I'm gonna
problem.
say
I
lose
should
the
lose the
fourth.
fourth.
Yeah, yeah. But again, I'm not down on him being in the main event. I'm not one of those. Oh, here's Cody again winning.
He's a huge
I'm not
star.
at that point. Yeah, he until you get someone else, like he's the dude. You know what I mean? I do think they need to. It's the booking, like you said earlier. I think they need to implement good stories for him and not just have it be solely on the opponent chasing the title. That's a given, right? But have stories mean something. Have like a real personal side of it, but then obviously they need it, like they want it just as bad as Drew and as Randy do. So I don't know, and it shouldn't be that hard. Like it's the same shit they've been, trying to do for years, doing for years. So I don't know.
Um, One question I do have is somebody brought it up, but I've been thinking about it before. I don't understand why all of a sudden Gunther's just gone. I don't understand. Like Gunther should be a person you should be building to big matches at Mania. Like I don't understand why there's nothing for him or why he's not here. And now unless there's just nobody, unless they had something planned and I mean there's some injuries that they're having, but I don't think any of them affected Gunther. I mean I don't know where they were even planning on going, but I just don't understand why Gunther wouldn't have a match at Mania. I mean, that just seems weird to me. I don't understand why he's just gone. Do you have any ideas, or what are you thinking that could be going on with him, and why he's not on TV right now?
Yeah, long story short, I don't know. It's bizarre. I saw something that I think it was Fightful
Okay.
that there are still. I was trying to define what it was to see what word they used, but I don't know if they said like significant or substantial or some shit. But pretty much there are still plans to have Gunther involved at Mania, and
Okay.
not just some throwaway shit, something whatever the word was that they used. If I can find it, I'll speak it into existence. But apparently they are not worried. I'm not necessarily worried about him. And to be honest with you, dude, like this may sound crazy, but like if he doesn't have a Mania match, like what's the worst that could happen? Like what's the big deal? Like yeah, like obviously like you work your ass off, and if you're a wrestler, you're that's the Super Bowl, all that. I get the significance of it, but if he's not involved in something, whatever Fightful said, substantial, significant, whatever,
Yeah.
if it's not something like that, I don't necessarily want to see him in some bullshit either. Like, what was it
Yeah.
going to be? Like a squash match or like a Dragon Lee match? Like, I mean, that would be a good match. Don't get me wrong. It'll be like a good wrestled match. Like, obviously, it's Gunther,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know. Like at that point, then we're just adding shit to the card just to stack it and just to get people on the card. And of course, like Gunther, you want to pay him respect, and it sounds ludicrous when you say it out loud and when you see it on paper that so far we don't have something in line for the guy who retired, Cena, AJ Styles, and
And
has
Goldberg.
been Goldberg, yeah, and has been talking all this shit. But I'm not I'm not really worried about him. Like I know like people like freak out and bring him up and stuff like that, and I totally get it. Like I said, like maybe I should be more concerned. But man, like I'm just even if he doesn't make it to Mania, I'm not sitting here like, oh my god, that they forgot about Gunther and like what are they
Yeah.
doing? Like they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I just view it as they're not trying to force anything necessarily with him.
They got
Rumor
big
had it,
plans. They got big
yeah.
plans for sure. I mean,
Rumor had it
that's good.
exactly that he was gonna do something with Ray, and Ray got hurt.
Right.
I know, like even then, like I wouldn't have wanted to see him retire Rey Mysterio. I want that to be Dom. So unless it was just
Right.
gonna be a regular match, or if it was Ray fighting for a Dragon Lee's honor, or if it was like I don't know what Gunther would even put up, or like if Ray was putting up his mask or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
think
Like,
there's
go
two
ahead.
nights of Mania. That's the only thing is there's 2 nights of Mania, so you do have to fill it. I mean, you want to have two, really good cards, but like you said, if you don't have anything for him right now, it's kind of one of those things. You don't have anything for him. It's okay. Like I mean, when he comes back after Mania, he'll be bigger and badder than ever, and they'll find the next big feud for him. Like it's not. I'm with you. It's not a huge. It'll be weird just seeing him not on Mania, but it's not that they don't care about him. They just don't have anything for him right now to do, and it's just like, well, don't just throw him on there for no reason, just to have him on there.
Yeah, and honestly, really, oh here it is. It was Wrestle Purist who posted it from via Wrestle Votes on Fightful, because I think Wrestle Votes and Fightful not merged, but I think Wrestle Votes is like a part of Fightful now. I know you're not on Twitter much anymore, are you?
Not. I mean, I get on there time to time, but I don't post a lot on there. I'll
Yeah.
just check it from time to time.
So they're just another Wrestle Votes is like a pretty reputable site, I guess.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, so according to all the aforementioned, it says sources within WWE claim that Gunther is still expected for a substantial, that was the word, role at WrestleMania despite his recent absence. And that is it. Nothing more to that, but that is what it looks like. Yeah, everyone is reporting. So again, like I said, if we are coming out of Mania and he is not doing anything, then that's one thing. I could see it being something as simple as the Raw after Mania, him having a segment where he's on there bitching that he wasn't on Mania and that he's Gunther and he's done this, that, and the third, and then maybe an Obafemi comes out and we go from there. Like I'm not saying that I would necessarily even want that match so soon, but maybe something crazy happens because it's the Raw after Mania, right? But I don't know. I'm
Well,
not really worried about Gunther.
Well, I want to bring that, if it's okay, I was going to bring that up real quick before we get into the Roman Punk, because there's a lot to talk about there. I thought the way when Brock and Heyman came out and all that, and then Oba, that was the best segment for Oba. I've one of the best in a while as far as bringing somebody, giving him that kind of a shine. Because we've said this for a long time, and I mean you're with me on this. When Brock puts somebody over, he sells his ass off, man, and he
Mm-hmm.
sold his ass off for that power bomb. That first night was awesome, man. That was how you book something like that. That was big time. That was Obafemi. Obafemi is a huge star, and we are booking him as such. And this is going to be his moment. And I just, I mean, Monday was still, a good segment. It was still fine. It was good. It just wasn't, the Monday before was so good that it was hard to top that. But I just want to hear what you thought about that real quick. 'Cause I loved that first segment when he came in powerbomb Brock. It was awesome.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, no, it was amazing. He, like you said, when Brock likes someone or really believes in someone, you can see it, dude. Like you can feel it. And
Mhm.
man, it's Oba's gonna be that guy. And I saw somewhere where it was like, is Oba gonna be like the next Brock Lesnar, or like be like, like that next, like the Beast version, like that unstoppable dude? Uh
Mhm.
and I think he could be, like I
Could
think,
be.
I don't necessarily think, and they haven't positioned it this way, but I don't think Lesnar's going anywhere anytime soon. And when you think about it, it's kind of crazy all the matches Lesnar has lost throughout the last
Yeah,
few
he
years.
has. Nobody brings that up though. He has a
No.
lot. He's lost a lot.
Yeah, but every time he comes back, he's still like, you don't even think about it. It's like
No.
you don't think that he lost to Cody and like all these people, like even like I said within the past few years. So
Mhm.
whatever mystique there is about Brock, like everything else to the side, like the character of him, it's really interesting because I don't know of many other wrestlers in the past who really have that aura, who come back and really their win and loss record isn't really a thing, right? Like, because even with Cena at a point, like Cena that was built into the story. Like he was on like a losing streak and he can't win
Mhm.
singles matches and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like whatever it is about Brock, like dude has it, and bless him, man, because he has made millions over the years. He's been doing
Definitely.
interviews lately that I haven't seen any of them, just a couple excerpts like on Twitter or whatever. But one of them was like when he first left WWE, like I didn't even realize that Vince apparently sued him and for like due to his like non-compete clause, I guess for like for violating it or whatever.
Oh wow.
He was
Okay.
going through a divorce. He was fighting for custody of his kid, like and all that stuff. Like just a whole bunch of like just like personal and business stuff too when you think about it. But yeah, and he was like it drained him financially and all this. Like it was just interesting just to hear him or read that he opened up. So
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. If anyone's interested, those interviews are out there because he's normally not one to go out there and talk. So yeah, I don't know what that means going forward for his future if he is winding down, that he's kind of turning into the Undertaker and just going out there and spilling his guts. But we'll see. We will see. But yeah, as far as WrestleMania though, I think I actually threw. I think that was the poll that I threw in the YouTube feed. But yeah, who do you have winning at Mania? Do you have Oba or Brock winning?
Oh, absolutely, Oba. I mean, it has to win. I mean, it makes no sense for Brock to beat Oba at this point. I mean, you're trying to build him up. I mean, I don't understand why he would come in and lose to Brock. I just don't get that. It would be, to me, it just would be ridiculous. I don't understand. I just, Oba's your next big star. He's got to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just makes no sense for him not to win. If Brock wins, I'm gonna be very mad and I'm gonna want to throw something at the TV.
Yeah, dude. They are gonna have a lot of people pissed off. And I kind of like what we were saying with Randy earlier. I would be probably shocked if you've been doing all this with Oba you take him to that point and then you have him lose. Even if it's a matter of Brock doing some shady shit, Heyman getting involved, whatever. I
Hmm.
don't care if it's a count out, if it's a disqual. I don't want any of that bullshit.
No,
Just
no.
have. And then I was thinking too, I forget when it was, but I was thinking about it, I was like, what kind of match should we even be expecting? Like is it going to be
I'm worried
a
about a
10,
regular
15
Brock
minute
match.
match, right?
Well,
Because it doesn't go that long, but I don't see it being a slaughter either. But I think that could actually be fantastic too. Like if you really want to put Oba over,
mhm,
fucking have it like a 2, 3 minute just domination and just have him like toy with Brock. Have Brock get in some offense, but just
mhm,
have Oba just clean the slate with him. So
yeah.
what do you think match wise, or do you think it's gonna be like a 5, 10 minute match? Because I don't see it going. I see like 12 minute max, and I don't even know what that would look like though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Now that you brought that up, I'm kind of torn because it's scary in the sense of all the Brock matches we've seen are all the same. They're all the Suplex City crap and the 10 F5s and he kicks out of all of them, and it's just I want if they're gonna have a longer match, I want Brock to mix up some different things and do something different and have a actually a legit match where they're doing some other cool moves and not just doing the same Brock match that we've seen
Mm-hmm.
every time. But I think what it's going to end up being, honestly, is I don't see it going more than like 8 tops, but I see Brock if Oba. And what's what I'm more interested to see too if Oba because if Oba keeps getting the better of him every time up till then, I could see and I would worry about Brock just dominating a lot of the match and then Oba just getting the win. But then it feels like Oba, what does he get out of it by just winning at the
Right.
end? Like I really want Brock technically to come out, do a couple suplexes, like show some dominance at the beginning, but then Oba quickly reverse it and start dominating and then completely crush him at the end and get the
Mm-hmm.
win and go over very, very strong. Because he, like you said, he needs to go over strong.
Yeah.
He's your next big star in your company. He's got to be not just somebody who ekes it out at the very end, and we don't look at him and think, "Oh, this guy's a big star. He just barely beat Brock." I mean, barely he beat him, but he barely beat him. Kind of thing.
Yeah. No facts. You said Brock is not losing the first time. Let me bring it up. Brock is not losing the first time WWE acknowledged his mania streak. I don't know what mania streak does he have. I don't know
Yeah,
what streak that
yeah, I don't know
like.
either. I'm not sure.
Let me know what streak you're talking about, dude.
Did you like
Um,
Heyman talking for him again, or did you want him to kind of talk on his own since he had been kind of talking on his own for a little bit? Are you fine with Heyman just talking for him again and all the kind of the same stuff he had been doing before?
for this feud, honestly, to me, it kind of adds to the
Yeah.
beast aspect of Brock. It makes him more intimidating, having
Hmm.
him be more silent verbally, and having Heyman out there and kind of doing everything, especially since Oba hasn't really said much. It's been more just a power game. Um, so I'm not really against it because again, like I don't like what would you expect to hear from Brock whenever Brock is on the mic, he's normally like shit talking someone, like kind of mocking someone. I don't want
Yeah.
to see him do that with Oba, and I don't
True.
think his character would do that. What we've seen from him, like he has been taking Oba seriously, just like the facial expressions, like his body language, he takes him seriously. So I dig Heyman doing the talking in this one, but I've said in the past, like I really enjoy Brock on the mic because he is very not even underrated. It's just he probably underrated in WWE's mind, which he's probably thrilled with because it's less work that he has to do. He literally just has to go out there and stand there and maybe jump around a couple times. But yeah, man, he I think this one is fitting.
Yeah. No, I'm,
Um
I'm with you. I think it's better with Heyman. I mean, overall.
yeah. He said they said since he beat Taker that the streak is Lesnar's responsibility for Mania. they're gonna do a Lesnar Mania streak like the Undertaker. Yeah, but I don't know what Lesnar's record is at Mania. To be honest with you, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
I mean, he obviously beat Taker. He beat Roman in the match that everybody hates, which we all should have hated because that sucked. He beat. I feel like I should know. I mean, our brains are fried right now, but I feel like the last few. I mean, he obviously he did beat he did beat Goldberg. He did beat him that year.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, come on, AI. How are you gonna give me a freaking list but not a tally? You mean we should count this shit? This is what we're wasting our energy on. Is this
oh my
fucking result?
gosh.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I don't.
One.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, I just think if Brock was facing somebody else, maybe I just Oba just he's not gonna beat Oba. I just don't see why you have him beat Oba. I just don't get it. I mean,
Oh
Oba's
wow.
your next big thing. Unless you're doing a long
He
feud with them, and I don't think you are. And why would you do a long feud with them? I don't know.
so he is even. He has 6-6 and wins and losses at Mania.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they're
But
not doing a Mania streak at this point. He's
yeah,
old
no.
now, and he's not. They're not doing that. I
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, I just don't see why they would do that. It just that wouldn't. It would be kind
But
of weird now.
no, I get what he was saying though in
Yeah.
regard to Heyman stating that Lesnar is
Yeah, he
the
did say
first one who
something
did
like
the
that.
streak with, and he's the responsibility. Like he pretty much like took the torch from that, and he was the one
Yeah.
to defeat Undertaker. He's only one of two, right, to defeat Taker at Mania, him and Roman. Um, so I think you just holding like the Mania lore of being like the attraction, I guess maybe could be what you're referring to. But the only thing that I could really see before we move on from this match is if they for whatever reason wanted to have or had to have Lesnar win at Mania, they can extend to SummerSlam. SummerSlam is in Minneapolis. Have Lesnar. I'm sure Lesnar's going to be there.
Mhm.
Have Lesnar and Oba run it back, and then have Oba defeat Lesnar there. But to me, that wouldn't make sense because I'm assuming you would probably want like take advantage of having Lesnar have the hometown advantage. So you'll probably want to put him in a match where maybe he would be the good guy. As much as I hate going back and forth,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that would be the only thing that I could maybe even throw around is if you're gonna have Oba get it back, but I'm not even a fan of that. But yeah. Anything else on these two before we move on?
No, let's get this Roman Punk, man. This is Roman Punk. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So full disclosure, I was not really a fan of Roman winning the Rumble and being the one to move on to face either champion, really. I didn't think it was necessary. I thought you could have had numerous other people win. And I'm not over Roman. I'm just over the back and forth with Roman. Again, just disclaimer, if it was me and if I was in Roman's shoes, 100% I would sign for that contract to have that schedule to get that payday. Like I'm not hitting on the dude. Like more power to you. Sign it every time you can, dude. I totally get it. Just me as the fan,
hmm
I'm kind of over, oh, Roman returns. Oh, Roman will be back next month. Or like he's back from Mania, then he's gone for 6 months until SummerSlam. Or, it's just like I'm just kind of over the back and forth with it. Not asking him to be full time and not expecting anything else. I'm just that portion of it for me is I'm kind of over it because you can't build but like a story but for so long, right? Like you can't have
hmm
besides the bloodline story that has been going on for literally years, you can't really have a substantial feud with someone where it's only one sided, right? Because even if you're a great talker like CM Punk, like you can only hold your side for as long as you can, right? Like unless you have like, and thankfully Roman has the family members that Punk was able to bounce off on for 1 week, but that's just kind of where I was coming with Roman. However, I would be remiss if I didn't say like, especially that first well, I think it was the first time they met up. It was just fantastic. Like their chemistry is there, but it just feels like there's like an awkward tension in the room, and there's just like an elephant in the room, and just something that both want to, like, character wise, both just want to say to each other, but they won't. And I almost just want to be the middleman and just be like, say what you need to say, and let's just get it out there, you know. And I don't know. So I don't know if there's still this last punchline that either Roman or Punk is going to throw at each other. Because again, like I said earlier, that last Raw isn't really going to be that big of a deal. It's probably going to be more of a recap. They do a little bit more on that last Raw going into Mania, but we really have 2 weeks left for any real build. So I don't think they're lacking or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. Um, and they finally got physical this week, which I think was fitting. It was interesting, and I loved that Jay was the one who kind of dictated to Roman to go get on Punk. Pretty much he was like, "Go handle that," and Roman did. Roman speared him and then demolished Punk afterwards, and then Punk was smiling and pretty much like Punk got what he wanted, you know, and got the mental advantage over Roman. So I dig where they're going with it, but I don't, like, as a fan, I'm kind of concerned, like as a Punk fan, right? I'm kind of concerned that Punk is gonna lose, but and again, I could be biased, and that's fine. But I just feel, even story wise, it makes more sense. I don't even know if it's a matter of we'll be having a heel turn from Punk coming out of Mania, but I just feel like with how the story has gone so far, you kind of need Punk to win. Um, it was very odd that Punk lost his cool over being called old, because I'm pretty certain it was with Drew, but he said to someone, he was like, or maybe it was an off-air interview that I'm mistaken, but man, like, I if I can find it, I will. But he had referenced either the bags under his eyes or the gray in his facial hair, but he had referenced like one of his old features and being proud of it because it's the miles that he's gone through, and it's like life that he's wearing essentially. Because I remember thinking like, oh, it was a pretty dope answer. So knowing Punk is that guy who enjoys life and like enjoys getting older in life. You know, he's going through a shitty time right now because of the passing of Larry, but overall loves life. You know, that just didn't seem fitting to me. Like it didn't seem like the Punk that the Punk. I don't want to say the Punk that I know, like I know the dude, but the Punk character that I feel like I have come to love over the years, that he would snap over being called old, whether it was in a disrespectful way or not. Like, okay, like people have called him way worse, and it's like it didn't even like it was like someone wasn't even talking to him. And so for Roman to call him old, like I don't know, it was it maybe I don't know. So that was just my thoughts on that. I was just like, really, dude, like I like of all the things, like you're kind of losing your mind over that. I was expecting like a lot of people the Larry line to come out. Kind of happy they didn't, just because you know Punk has recently said, definitely off air somewhere, like in an interview, that he cried, or maybe it was on his Instagram story. I don't know, somewhere, that he cries at least once a day because of the passing of his dog and how tough it is on him. So I feel that, dude. Like it's gotta be terrible. So yeah, I officially am at the point where I think CM Punk should win. For everything that I just said. If not, like, if we have Roman win, okay, is he going to be back again? Not full time, but is he going to be back at least the majority of the next, like if we have 4 weeks, at least like half of the month? Like every other week type thing, every few weeks type thing. Like even that, like the whole point of creating the heavyweight championship was because the other champion was never around. So you needed a champion to be present. So I don't know, man. Like I just feel like it would be kind of contradictory unless, like I said, Roman is gonna be committed to being around for even just like 2-3 months. Like I don't want another year, 2-3 year reign from him. So that's where I'm at. What about you?
So as far as the first week, the first week's promo was really good. I really loved that. The first one was great. I feel like the last couple weeks, especially when Jay, he insulted Roman's, father, which was, I mean, again,
Oh yeah.
that was a little bit of a low blow to me. I like Punk, just not as much as you, like, as a whole, but I mean, I still love seeing Punk. I just thought, okay, that's a little low. You're trying to get one up on him, trying to get in his head, but like, do you really need to bring that up? And then Jay kind of randomly, just all of a sudden, gets mad about it and is like, hey, I want you to apologize. Which, to me, if Punk's gonna stay face for a while, you thought, okay, maybe you should apologize, but like, hey, I shouldn't have said it maybe the way I did, but you understand the point I was trying to make. I just went too far with it. Kind of, you can you say whatever you want if you're Punk trying to get around the fact that, okay, I still had a reason for why I said it, but I shouldn't have brought up your dad. It was wrong of me. And then he just Punk, honestly, that night ended up being like a jerk. I mean, he throws the mic
Mm-hmm.
in his chest and just acts like Roman's young boys. Like, now he made good points. He's always made good points in this as far as Roman can't do anything on his own. He's always got to have his family around him. He just can't just come out and just do stuff on his own. So you like you kind of you're with him. You understand where he's coming from,
Yep.
but they're both now just acting like jerks now to me. Like, I don't like I like both of them because they're both over. They're both big stars, but like, I just don't like the way the last few weeks are just kind of, like you said, him saying Punk's old and Punk just punching him. Like, really, dude? You're that mad over the fact he said you're in your 40s? Like, come on, dude. I mean, it just seemed kind of ridiculous that he did that. And then this week, it was okay. I mean, it was fine. But then Punk, the one thing I did not like, and I hope you agree with this, and if you don't, it's okay. I just don't like Punk bringing up the fact we're just talking smack about each other to sell tickets. Like, why, bro? Like, why are
Yeah.
you bringing
It
that
was
up in a
weird.
promo? Like, come on, dude. You're kind of taking me out of the moment of like you guys going at each other and it feels real, and you just kind of, now it doesn't feel real anymore. Now it just feels like it's all scripted junk just to get in each other's face just to have a big match. Like, it doesn't feel as big I mean, it still feels big, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't like that he actually said that on the air in the promo this week. I just didn't get that. What did you think about that? What he said there? I thought that was just not like him. He usually doesn't say stuff like that. It just kind of blew me away that he would actually say that on TV.
Yeah, dude. No, exactly. That's exactly where I am. I was more surprised than anything that like it just did. It's not fitting for him. Like it's just not. It's just not him. Like the Punk that we know, right? Like the character that we know. Like I don't know. It just didn't fit him, and I almost completely forgot about the whole, bury next year dead father thing. That just came out of nowhere. Like I was like, where did that come from? Like that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like damn, we're going there. Okay, that Roman's response to that to me was kind of odd though too. Like he, okay, so Punk says that Jay I first of all, shout out to Jay and Jimmy because I think they're again low key like star players in this.
Yeah.
Uh
I
I
like Serious
love
J. I like
I
Serious
love
J.
yeah, I love the dynamic between the two. I love the hothead Jay and then the cooler head Jimmy. How
Yeah.
Jay is back there losing his mind and Jimmy's just standing there, with his arms crossed, just
Right.
just listening to it all, and hearing Punk out. And I don't know, I really like that. And Jimmy, man, he doesn't get enough love. Like excuse me, I think it's odd that when they come out, well, besides or not besides, but prior to being back involved with Roman, but with when they would be standing at the top, with Jay saying still to like please hit my music, like I mean your brother's standing right there, dude. Like I mean, like I don't know, it's just one of those things. Like it probably doesn't mean anything, but to me, it's just like every time he says it, I'm just like, can you say like our music now? Like he's coming out with you. Like I don't know. It's
Hmm.
not a big deal, but it just always was just stood out to me. But definitely got to acknowledge the Usos because they are doing their thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that it was weird though that Roman Punk says what he says. Roman comes back, and I was expecting. I loved. I don't. I think it was. It wasn't the next week, but it was the week after when Roman came back. I loved how Roman was the thread, and like the bloodline was the thread throughout the evening. And I was expecting Roman to later on snap. I thought he was acting like it wasn't bothering him. He just like he's cool, calm, and collected, like happy go lucky, like laughing around in the back, just like it's a regular day, like nothing happened, right? I was then expecting him to completely lose his mind and do a 180 in the ring, and he didn't. And again with him, like he loses his cool over Punk snapping at Jay again. Like I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
guess maybe the verbal, maybe it's a thing where, like, oh, you can say whatever you want verbally to Roman, but it's not going to affect him. But if you attack Jay, attack Jimmy, like, one too many times, like, that's what pisses him off, like, physically attacking someone and not verbally. I mean, okay. But then if that's the case, then why ever do a promo period? Like that's the whole point of promos is to sell shit and to make people pissed off. Like if nothing's gonna piss you off, then what are we doing? Like that's the whole point. It's like the majority of it. Like
Even though
people
Punk shouldn't
say,
have said it out loud.
yeah, like people say that, oh, like it doesn't even matter if you're like good in the ring. Like nowadays it matters like if you can sell and how good your character is. So if it's like you're not selling on the mic, then what the fuck are we doing? So it's like
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, dude, like it's just odd to me what they're getting mad at, but I dig it. I am coming around on it. I came around on it. It's fine. Like I said, I'm very intrigued to see who is going to win this match though. Very intrigued and super
Yeah.
salty that I'm not going to be able to watch it live. I'm going to have to wait until, like I said earlier to you, like that Tuesday, I think.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
not going to be
Yeah.
able to get on like any social media or anything because I'm going to
That's
have
right.
so much stuff to like watch and catch up on.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
I
But I officially think Punk is gonna win.
well, like I said, I didn't. I'll bring that up too. I didn't. I'm with you. I don't. I mean, I've said this before. I mean, you know me. I've talked to Wade many times. I don't. I don't think Roman. If Roman's gonna, because he's gonna be part time. He's gonna continue to be part time. He's not gonna be full time. And so, to me, I don't. We've seen part time champions way too often, and it sucks, and we hate it for good reason because it sucks
Mm-hmm.
because they're not around defending the freaking thing, and there's no stories with these guys other than every once in a while, and it's just I don't want that. I think if you're gonna have a the pro the I think, and the one thing I've heard too is I'm so like I'm not. I guess I'm not. I'm frustrated because everybody's like, well, they're having this big build up to this match, but this match isn't going to be good. It's not going to be a good match. Like, number one, I do think it'll be a very, very good match. Will it be the greatest match in the history of WrestleMania? No. Does it have to be the greatest match in WrestleMania history? No. It's two big stars going at each other, telling a great story in the ring, which is what it's about, is telling a great story in the ring. Yes, it doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be a Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada match to be a great WrestleMania match. Like it doesn't have to be a 5-star classic. Everybody's so caught up in every match. Now, if it's a 1-star match, I'm gonna say, okay, that match sucked. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
admit it kind of sucked,
Yeah.
but it can be a really good match and not be a 5-star high flippy. Everybody doing all these crazy things to be a great match. I think they'll tell a really good story. I think it'll be a really, really good match, and I think it'll be fine. And I think Punk will win. But I do want Punk, honestly, as much as I like him, I do want him to turn heel. I just think he's a better heel. I just think he is. This face is. It's fine. The fans are into him. It's not that they're not into him. It's just now they have to choose who they like, and they do to be. And I think you'll agree right now that they do still like Roman more. They even though he's part
Yeah.
time, they do. He's a big star. They love him. I mean, and that's what's weird about this whole thing. Most times, if you have a guy that's not around a lot, other than maybe Randy, I guess has kind of had that. Roman is just on another level, man. He comes out, it doesn't matter where it is, after how long it's been, they're popping huge. They
Hmm.
love the guy, and I like him for what he does, the stories he tells. But I don't want a part time guy winning a title at this point in his career. I just think Punk needs to win the title. Now, where they go from there, I don't know. But I would love to see Punk turn heel at some point soon because I think him and AJ together, which they've had them together now, on TV, they're both just better heels. I mean, they just are. I mean,
Yeah.
AJ's a way better heel. His face thing for me is it's okay, but I'm like, man, I'd love her to be a heel because I think she can do so much more on WWE television in that way, and it'd be more compelling to me.
Yeah, I'm not as I think I it's only a matter of time for both of them. I
Mhm.
see why they're trying to drag out the AJ Lee one though a bit longer because she hasn't been around much at all. They
Yeah,
said that she
yeah.
signed a full-time contract and girl has been here less than Roman. So I
I
don't know what that's about. So and
right.
hey, no hate again. Fantastic. Get your bag and stay home.
But if you sign
Super
full
happy for
time,
you. It's
sign. But if you're going to be there though, if
yeah,
you're
it's
going to be
not full
full time,
time.
be
Like
there.
just don't call it full time,
Right.
Like
Exactly.
but yeah, and don't make them your main champion. And again, like having the IC championship, I think is fine. It is what it is. Like the whole point with that title though is to be involved with the people who aren't gunning for the main championship. So you would think you would be around more, but and
Yeah.
she's been around, so that's not even a case right now. But just moving forward, rather. But yeah, with AJ, I think I'm not surprised they haven't leaned more into possibly turning her sooner. They're milking the feud with her and Becky as long as they can, which makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost
Becky's
wonder
so
if
good.
that one, yeah, I almost wonder though if that's gonna end up being a double turn with her and Becky. I'm not
Ooh.
hoping for it, but we're almost getting to the point with Becky opponent wise. Like, what else do we like really do? So yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. Unless we move her to SmackDown, because I feel there's going to be, if they want to call it a draft or a shakeup or whatever, I feel like there's going to be something soon after Mania. So maybe that's just it for Becky, and they're just going to
Yeah.
swap her to a different brand. But that would involve moving Seth as well. So I don't know. Excuse me, but yeah, I think Punk will probably turn first, and then they'll link up probably shortly thereafter. But I don't think it's going to be like a dual thing that it happens together or the same night or anything like that. Because then
Yeah.
to me, it would kind of feel a little forced. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, but I think I agree with you though. Punk is so much better when he's a bad guy. He just thrives. The only thing I worry about though is, like I've kind of been saying, is just opponents for him. But I think the landscape is much more suitable for excuse me, good guys for him to face than bad guys going forward, really, because once he goes through Roman, and Roman isn't even a true heel, he's like you said, he's getting more cheers than Punk in a lot of places now than Punk is. So we'll have to see. But it's really interesting. They're in a really interesting place for both main events for night one and night two.
Yeah.
Um,
They really are. I mean, they're both big time matches, both big
yeah,
matches, big stars. So I mean, it's and they have the young stars that are coming up now, which is really good. And you know, we've been saying it. I mean, people have been bringing it up, and I don't care. I just want the best talent, whoever it is, black or white. But it's cool when you have three like Oba, Trick, and Javon that are all big time up and coming young guys that are all looking good. Even though Trick does, I think, need to turn face, at some point because I just think the heel stuff's not working. I mean, it's working. Like he's doing okay to make it work, but it's just like, okay, dude, people want to sing your song. You got that song. It's just like you got to be a face here sometime soon. But there's three young stars that are coming up and Gunther, who's already a big star, not younger, but I mean he's a bigger star that's up and coming on WWE television, and so there's a lot of good stuff in the works right now. I just hope they can keep this going. And I wanted to say, I did want to ask you too, real quick, and we don't have to go too long into it, but because it is compelling. Where do you think they're going with Sammy? Because I do like the Sammy interaction with him
mhm,
and Cody.
yeah.
Was I just think here's my take, and I brought it up with Wade. I don't see Sammy being sympathetic right now. I just think he's being a whiny baby. I really do. I mean, it's compelling, a compelling whiny baby, but he's like, well, Cody, you're getting all these chances, but like, okay, dude, Sammy, like you're a smart guy. Drew got Cody, or Drew cost Cody elimination chamber. You saw it with your own eyes. He cost him the match. There's no disqualification, which I think is stupid in those kind of matches,
Yeah.
but whatever. It is what it is. We just kind of sink your teeth in. That's what it's going to be. But um, and Cody had a reason to be in that match, and Sammy. It's like, Sammy, you've had how many chances to win big matches, and what did you do? You lost, fair and square. Nobody cheated you out of anything. Nobody, Drew basically had the match for you to win in the triple threat match, and it's like you're being a I mean, I see what they're trying to do, but to me, Cody. I can see why Cody's getting frustrated with him. It's like, dude, stop whining. Like
Yeah.
what do you? And so, but I wanted to hear what you thought about Sammy and like where do you think they're just going? Is doesn't have to be super long, but I was just curious where you thought he's going, what the track he's on.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, that's a good question. Kind of when you were talking there, I don't know why, for whatever reason, I randomly just pictured him getting involved in the Randy and Cody match and maybe being not the one to directly cost Cody the match, but to be one of the deciding factors, kind of like that moment when the
That's true.
referee's
They
down,
could do that.
you know,
They do.
do something to Cody, haluva kick or some shit like that, and then have Randy see it, obviously love it, do the punt kick, whatever Randy's gonna do, and win and go from there. Then that could really, like I said earlier, that would kind of eliminate Cody for a few weeks, maybe a month, depending on how long they're willing to be without him. That sets up a story for Sammy going forward. That obviously it frees up Randy, gives Randy kind of a clean slate for now, but it leaves that chapter still open for them to revisit in the future. But it buys them a little bit of time, like I was saying. But at the same token, too, I don't. It's hard to believe that they would want to turn Sammy just because Sammy is such a good guy. He's just a really lovable guy. But then again, I think of how good he is as a bad guy. And I don't know if you remember Conspiracy Theory
Oh yeah,
Sammy.
it was
I
good.
still want those files, talk about files. I still want
Oh,
those files released. Like, someone just needs to hack everything and just release it all. But yeah, dude, and he even said in an interview, like, he had a cameraman like that he hired specifically like to go around, and like he got permission like to go around and like film a lot of stuff, and like they compiled like a cool little video, and it's just somewhere just collecting dust. So I don't know, I hope they release it. But yeah, dude, other than that, if he's not involved, which is more likely, if he's not involved in anything related to that at Mania, I don't know, dude. I don't really know what you do with Sammy going forward. I don't like. I could see them because before I had predicted that Sammy's story was really going to start and go into next year's WrestleMania, being in Saudi. It just made sense,
right,
and you can
right,
use him losing last year or whenever it was at Saudi, him not being successful and going from there, and just everything just
yeah.
building and building, building.
Mhm.
I don't know if you would want to do a heel turn in between now and next year. Obviously, you have
Right.
plenty of time, but I feel like that would kind of take away some of the punch of the build and the journey. Like with Cody, like he was to finish his story, right? He was a good guy the entire time. It wasn't like we were back and forth emotionally with him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with Sammy, I like, and again, like I was saying, Sammy is just so lovable, and it's just so easy to like him. I
No.
don't know if you would want to really ruin that. And again, he is very talented. He could make you love him and hate him one week and the next, but I just feel like that would kind of be unnecessary for the long term story. But if that's not a direction they're really going to go, and I don't even think that it was like, I don't expect him to win the like undisputed championship, more likely the heavyweight. But if they're not going to go in that direction, I really don't know. Kind of like a Drew, what you really do with him, and he's kind of in a similar boat to Gunther. Like, what do you do with these guys going forward? they're in their own way different, but kind of similar. Like if they're not going for a championship, and Sammy to a lesser effect, but if the I guess the hierarchy would be like Gunther, Drew, and Sammy out of those three. But like if they don't have the championship, they need something really solid to be involved in because they're not good floaters. Like it's not like they can have a good match, right? But like Sammy is one of those characters where like he's best in a deep storyline, a weekly storyline, not just like, oh, here's a throwaway match, like
Right.
he should be in something. So that's kind of where I'm coming at. I don't know if that makes sense. But what up, Maddie? What up, dude? Tell mom we said hey. But E had said or asked rather NXT stand and deliver predictions. Y'all gonna watch Tony D'Angelo win the Fatal 4-Way? Sean, you mentioned that you were on a NXT show recently, so I will throw that to you because I myself have not been following NXT too much. I know you said you hadn't either, but you did talk recently, so if you just want to touch on that really quick, I do have the card pulled up here. Make sure this is the current one. Yeah. So we have Vanity Project facing off against Birthright. I do like what they've done with Birthright. I think that's a pretty cool faction. Miles Bourne defending against Johnny Gargano. Johnny is back on NXT land. JC Jane defending against Kendall Gray or Lola Vice. Sol Ruka facing off against Zarya. They
Zarya, that's
recently
good.
broke up. And Joe, I almost called him Joel. Joe Hendry defending against Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Tony D'Angelo. So obviously we know who E is going for there. But yeah, Sean, any thoughts there or any predictions?
So I had that was first episode of NXT yesterday that I've seen or Tuesday I've seen in a while, to be honest. Which is sad because I do like NXT. I just so much time in a day. I don't love Joe Hendry as champion. It's kind of whatever. I mean, I'm not a Joe Hendry. I don't believe in Joe Hendry like a lot of other people do, and I'm sorry. I mean, it's not. I'm not hating on the guy. I just don't. He's not my favorite wrestler for sure. He's okay. He's whatever. I would think I would be okay if Tony D'Angelo did win. I mean, I like this new character seems cool to me. It's not the Mafia guy, which is great because I didn't really love the Mafia guy. This is a lot better for him. Love the Sol Ruka Zarya stuff. Love their back and forth. Check that out, Ash. If you haven't seen it, check that out. It
I've
was
seen a
good.
little bit of that, yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was well done. Really well done. Sol Ruka's a star. She's going to be a star on the main roster here soon.
yeah.
Zarya can be too, but Soul just there's something with her that I just really enjoy. I think Zarya will win that just because I think Soul's moving up to the main roster here soon anyway. So I think Zarya will probably win that. The oh gosh, Kendall Gray. Just a little bit I've seen of her. I do really like her. I would have her beat Lola next week and then face JC for the title at Stand and Deliver. I think that'd be a lot of fun. There's something there. She's young, but she's really very good in the ring for her age. I like what she's done so far. Um,
And you got
the
Miles Bourne and Johnny
yes.
Gargano.
Oh my gosh, the Johnny Gargano stuff. I don't even want to get started because I don't want to get mad. It's just been stupid. I've hated everything they've done. It has cracked me up in a sense of like it is cute what he's done,
Yeah.
but it's so stupid. And that I just think Johnny Gargano means so much more. So you didn't see NXT. So what he did was Candace comes out and he's like, or she's like, Johnny's gonna be in this. They did a gauntlet eliminator, so like he was supposedly the last person in the gauntlet. So he comes out and he's like kind of just not sure about it, and so he goes on the apron, just lays on the apron like he's been doing like most of the match. And I'm like, okay, come on, this is so stupid. This is dumb. And basically, one of the guys, Shiloh Hill, one of the younger guys on the roster, he had eliminated a couple guys, and then Birthright attacked him outside the ring. And so they throw him in the ring, and Johnny Gargano all of a sudden kind of gets on somehow like basically just like falls over on top of him and gets the pin. And I was like, okay, this is so stupid.
Oh, because he's doing that like not like a
Yeah,
plank, but like that laying flat thing.
yeah, and it was just so stupid. I'm like, this is not what Johnny Gargano should be doing. Like Johnny
Yeah.
Gargano, I just think he's been hurt so badly at this point. yes, he'll have a great match with Miles Bourne, and they have an NXT still to like kind of build it up a little bit. But Miles Bourne's very talented. Like I like what they've done with him so far, but have Miles win, Johnny just he doesn't need to be in NXT at this point. I mean, just do something better on the main roster than what they're doing. It's just so and what was even worse to me is when they had him kind of liven back up and then Oba squashes him, and it's like okay, like I just love Johnny too much to see him doing this kind of stuff. I think he's way too talented to be doing it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, dude, I sadly I didn't have too high of hopes for Johnny on the main roster, but I thought he could be a solid like intercontinental champion level, like kind of like
Yeah.
gatekeeper in that area,
Yeah.
kind of bounce back and forth between the IC championship, US championship, and kind of do that for a few years and then just be like a backstage agent, producer, whatever they want to call it. And
Sure.
and just kind of be that dude. But sadly, I never saw him to be like a main eventer or anything like that. Not that he's
No.
not talented, or I mean, he's insane. But
Yeah.
WWE isn't. Brian Danielson was a rare case, and that's just who Gargano reminds me of, like stature wise, and it took a lot, even with the people solidly behind Brian. It still took almost like a revolution for Vince and everyone to allow Daniel
Right.
Bryan to be in the main event, let alone win the championship. And it sucks that he got hurt not too long after that, but it's
That was
just
terrible. Ugh.
yeah. So at least though, Gargano's back in NXT and he's not just sitting and catering, doing nothing. At least he's doing something. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. But Maddie, dude, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. You said,
Appreciate it,
do we
Maddie.
get Cody turn? And then so pretty much two questions: do we get a Cody turn or an Uso back to heel turn? So what do you think, Sean? Do we get a heel Cody or heel Usos? And I'm just gonna say between now and Mania. Yeah. What say you first? And thanks, Maddie. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, Maddie. Good seeing you on here, dude. I think if anybody's going to do it, it'd be the Usos. I mean, Cody's not turning heel, and nor should he anytime. I mean, again, will Cody turn heel at some point? I think he will. I think he will eventually do it, even though I don't think he thinks it's the best idea, but I think he will do it if it's best for business. I think he will do it at some
Mm-hmm.
point, just not right now. Now's not the time. The Usos, I think, would be better as heels. Honestly, I think Jay would be better as a heel. Since he turned babyface, it's just like the stuff in the crowd and the bad matches. Just to me doesn't it's. I think Jay's a lot better than that, and heel just would do it, be more exciting and more entertaining. So, or not entertaining, but more. I can't think of a good word, but it'd be more
Like more
interesting for sure.
engaging.
More engaging. Yes, that's a good word. Yeah. So if anybody were to do it, I don't think either will do it before Mania, but I think if anybody would do it, it'd be the Usos before Cody, but easily.
And do you think the Usos would turn at Mania itself?
Yeah, that's very possible. If you want to have interference, but I don't want interference in a lot of the Mania matches. I hope they don't do that. But
Yeah.
if they do, yeah, the Usos could interfere and help Roman, which I don't want that because I don't want Roman winning.
Facts. Yeah, no, dude, I'm right there with you. Yeah, pretty much what you said. Like, I can't wait to see a Cody turn, but I also can't wait to see a Cody turn. Like, I want it to make sense because,
Yes.
like I've said before, like Cody is just so special. And granted, he may not be at his peak anymore, but he is still very much loved in the majority of places that they go by the majority of fans. It's not just the women and the kids, cheering him and the men booing him. And it's not that Cena response. He's still primarily getting loved. So, like we've been saying, you have it's a very it's a weird situation that WWE is in because they have a lot of stars, but they are limited in like the good guy, bad guy, and the influx of who can challenge who and still make it
Yeah.
fresh and make it make sense and stuff like
Right.
that, and especially with the two separate brands. Not that they really care about brand loyalty or anything, but still, like they're not having both rosters travel to both Raw and SmackDown for a reason. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that they need to be careful with Cody as long as they can, but when it makes sense to pull the trigger, like you said, like Cody, they'll know, right? And like when Cody turns though, it's gonna be so fun. And I'm still surprised you haven't seen Brandy. I mean, yeah, she showed up at WrestleMania 40 after the match though. Or no, she came to him or came with him to ringside the first WrestleMania he came back, and then I pretty much like at WrestleMania she's like been ringside
Yeah.
essentially,
Right.
but
Right.
nothing involved storyline wise or any like no interference or anything like that. Um, so a lot of people hate Brandy and shit on Brandy. I'm not saying she's talented out there or like God's gift of wrestling or anything like that, but I dig Brandy, dude. I dig that. I dig so okay, like maybe in AEW she threw around her power or I don't know. I don't know whatever the stories are. I personally don't care. I Whenever I think of Brandy now, I think of the interaction with her and Jade when she was like, "Who told you it was fight night or Mike night, bitch, or whatever it
Oh.
was?"
Oh yeah. I
But
forgot about
just
that. Oh my
her
gosh.
coming out there and just being like, just I don't know, dude. Like she won me that night, and I'm a fan now. So
Brandy
I
is a heel. It'll work better with
Oh,
her with him
100%.
for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like if once we get to that time when Cody turns, I hope we get Brandy as well because for whatever reason, like I said, the majority of people just can't stand Brandy. At this point though, I don't know no disrespect, but I don't know if the majority of like the WWE audience would have like strong feelings one way or another. I think it would be more people like you, me, who like know of her, know the past, and
Mhm.
feel one way or another. But I think if
Would
they
it?
played the cards right, they can very easily get them on the hate and Brandy side.
Would anybody
But
remember when she announced matches? Would anybody
oh yeah,
remember
what was her
that?
name?
Eden Styles.
Oh god,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, what
yeah.
the heck, man? That was so. She was
Wow.
awful at that, man. She was not good at that. That was not
I
her
mean,
best
shit.
thing.
Maybe not, but she gave it a shot and it got
She
her in
did.
the door,
That's true. No, that's
and,
true.
and
She
let her
did. She.
meet her husband. She
That's true.
shit.
That's fair. No,
Hey, she did her thing.
I just miss Samantha. I mean, because they always say the great Alicia Taylor, and
Mm.
I'm like, she's not bad. Like, I don't dislike her or anything. I just Samantha was just so freaking good, and when she left, it was just like, oh my gosh, like it's just not the same. It's just not the
All
same.
right. Well, you went there, Sean, so we'll bring it up really quick. I don't even know if you know since you're not on Twitter, but the whole Ricochet controversy of
Yeah, no, I've seen it. Yeah, I saw a
the
little bit of it.
tweet that lived too long and some people may or may not have reported on. Um,
Yeah,
for full disclosure, it was Ricochet responding to a fan who tweeted and so AEW had posted a clip, I think it was of of Ricochet losing his mind backstage after Revolution. I think he was like throwing around some stuff. I didn't even watch the clip that they posted. I just saw screenshots afterwards. But this lady on Twitter named Sandy had responded to it, and what did she say? Like, oh, his acting hasn't improved or something to that effect, or
something
something like
similar.
that. Pretty much just like saying like his acting hasn't improved or he's still not a good actor, something like that. And then I do remember she put like 8 laughing emojis. So she clearly was responding to or like was providing her opinion on Ricochet, the character. But I mean, to be fair, like when you say something like clearly his acting hasn't, let me pull up the exact tweet so I don't misquote. When you say
Yeah,
something like that, you are talking kind of about the real person as well.
right,
To be
right.
fair, just to be fair, you know what I mean. However, Ricochet took it a step further and responded to old Sandy. He took some time and went to Sandy's. He did some research. He went to Sandy's Twitter page, who had her page public before, and I think she has since made it private. That um, he is glad she has MS. He said, I'm glad you got MS, which is multiple sclerosis, which is a very troubling and very terrible disease. Yeah, it's very, very terrible. I know an old coworker of mine, when I still lived in Virginia, her daughter, who had just turned 20, had just been diagnosed with it, and it was life changing for her. She was going to, like, literally, she was just graduating high school, or I'm sorry, she was just graduating her freshman year. She was about to go into like a different college, and she's about to transfer to pursue like a pilot degree and like all this like really cool shit. Brilliant kid. Had this happen to her, and it doesn't end your life, but it dramatically changes it. You know, it alters what you thought your life was going to be. So he said that, and all hell broke loose on Twitter. He left it up. I think some people said he left it up for like 15 hours or something, like the tweet itself, because you know how people do the tweet and delete thing. He apparently had retweeted some people in the meantime who were supporting him, and I guess some people were even shit talking Sandy. And yeah, and you know, again, to add to it, Sandy is like an older lady. I don't know, like maybe 50s, 60s. I don't know, like just older. Not that I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but just for more context. But yeah, people lost their mind. Some people even went crazy that certain sites like Fightful weren't reporting on it. But apparently Sean Ross Sapp was like traveling during that time. Who fucking cares? Like if they reported on it or not. Like I don't know. Like to me, people just lost their mind with just taking it in so many different directions. But yeah, your thoughts really quick, and then I'll share mine before we move on and wrap up.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think he should have said that. I mean, I think it's okay being a heel, but I think there's just things I wouldn't, places I just wouldn't go. That's just somewhere I wouldn't go. I heard somebody say if they're telling you to say things like that, then you know, I guess I understand that he just thought, okay, I'm just trying to be a heel. I'm just trying to like get at this girl, like just. But I just think there's lines you cross, even in kayfabe land and like that kind of land, where I just wouldn't say something like that. I think he should have deleted it immediately, and but I don't think he should lose his job over it. I mean, I think I think there should have been some internal like, hey, dude, you know, be a heel, but just be careful with what you say. Just, you know, don't go too far. Just, you know, let them know that it wasn't okay. And then if something like that happened again, I mean, I would maybe do something about it. You know, a little more stringent. But you know, people saying, "Oh, he should be fired," and all this stuff. Like, no, I don't think he should be fired. But I think he should have a stern talking to. It's like you just can't. You got to be careful about how you use certain things and how you go about certain terms, how certain things. You know, just I just wouldn't have done it. I just think it was below the belt. It was bad, but it was a little overblown too, though. I think it went a little crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm essentially right there with you again. I heard something else too, or read something else where and I don't know if this is true or not, but he was kind of in the mindset of how he was essentially trying to act like MJF acts, and how, like, you know, because MJF says some crazy shit and some off the wall shit, and has made fun of people in wheelchairs and stuff like that. So I've heard that that's where he was either coming from, or that's what it was being compared to from people close to him, or something to that effect. Not to make it to excuse it, I guess part of me can see, you know, if that is the case, or part of his mindset, like, oh, okay, you know, but still, like you said, like if someone was telling me to tweet that, like I personally wouldn't want to, like I personally wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, because I don't know, man. Like there's, like you said, there's levels to it, and I mean, what are you really gonna gain by saying that to a random fan on Twitter? Like it's I don't know. There's nothing good that's gonna come from it. You're not, the majority of your audience isn't going to see it, so it's not doing anything positive. You know, if there was going to be like a heel positive coming from it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to me, it was just unnecessary. But again, he has been doing and saying some crazy shit for months now on Twitter. So it's
Yeah.
nothing. I don't think he's said anything to that effect. But he has like gone back and forth with people on Twitter for a while now. So I don't know. Like I think people just like to be outraged about some shit. So this was the new flavor of the month. Again, it was terrible what he said. I think he truly meant it. I don't know because I don't know the dude.
Yeah.
Maddie is coming in here hot with the super chat, so I appreciate you, man. You said he should donate to MS and get education and respect. I'm glad you said that because I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But there was something else I thought that I saw. Maybe not. God, I forget what it was. But the whole he should donate and what Maddie I said, and thanks again, Maddie. I appreciate you, my friend. Where you say he should donate to MS and get education and respect. I do agree with that only because there has been a precedence that has been set prior. Whereas you had people like Sammy Guevara, God, who was the other one? Other people who have said some shit, and the shit Sammy said, it like he had made like a inappropriate comment about Sasha Banks and Mercedes Monet, that like years before on a podcast that resurfaced, he had to go to like sensitivity training and stuff like that, and was taken off of TV for I forget how long. And I forget the other people; they're not coming to mind, but there has been cases where things have been said and training and things like that have been I don't want to say like the punishment, but kind of the punishment, and like the lesson out of it. And where the donation thing comes in from what Maddie was saying, AEW prides itself on being a company closer with the fans and being more relatable in a sense, in the sense where they are more mindful of like their ticket prices than WWE. Like they're not out there trying to gouge people. They do little things where, for instance, like if you go to a live event, I forget the program that they have the name of it, but if you have like autism or if you have like sensitivity issues or sensor issues or anything like sensory issues, they have like a certain program set up for that specifically that has equipment like headphones and things like that that they will provide to you so your child or whomever the person is can go to the show. So they make it a point to do things like that. They donate to various charities and they do commercials and ads about it. So for them to be so gung-ho on a lot of stuff, it's kind of like, and again, it didn't happen on TV, so I'm not expecting them to make make an announcement on TV or even to maybe say anything publicly. I think they could maybe do a tweet about it, if anything, or maybe if someone asks Tony Khan about it in an interview or a press scrum or whatever, he could be like, yeah, I can't speak too much of it. We handled it internally, but we did make a donation to whatever, charity and go from there, because I do think you should. I think being, like I said, with AEW being the company that they are, for one of your talent to say something, again, do I think it should have been blown up as much as it was? Probably not, but it was a shitty thing to say. And again, if he personally, like if he as a human being, like I think whatever his name is, like if he as a human truly felt that, then that's really shitty. Then you don't need to be on Twitter. And honestly, like his apology was, like he started off by saying like I took my hatred out for the IWC on Sandy, and then pretty much like in the future he'll do better. Whatever, like that wouldn't be my apology. At least he said something. At least he deleted it. It is what it is. But if you hate the IWC, why are you on Twitter?
Well, that's the
like I don't
$100 million question right there. I mean,
like you don't have to be on Twitter. It's not part of your job description. It like for instance like John Moxley, like I think he has an account, but he's never on Twitter. Like there's tons of wrestlers who never post or tweet anything. I get you want to be a regular human, but you have to accept the fact that you're not a regular human, dude. Like you get paid, I'm assuming, a good amount of money, right? Like it sucks. I don't think, like I'm kind of in the camp where it sucks, if you're a celebrity that you can't be a regular person, that you can't have an opinion and just say some shit and without it getting blown up and TMZ reporting on it and dumb shit like that. Because if I said that shit or you said that, we'd probably get like maybe a couple random people that would respond and be like, oh, you're an asshole, or, like probably some dramatic stuff to us. But it would be done. By this time tomorrow, it would be done. But at the time I wake up tomorrow, it'd be done. Not TMZ reporting on it, like, oh, Ashley Mann's a piece of shit. Like, no, like, no one would really know. So I do feel for celebrities in that sense. But, dude, like,
you know what you're signing
you
up for
signed
when
up.
you do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Dude, you signed up for this. You get paid a good amount of money. Like, I don't know, like especially being employed with WWE for as long as he was, like
Oh
social
gosh.
media standards. You're not some random indie dude, some 20-year-old who just came off the streets,
Absolutely.
who has no real training. Yeah, you should have common sense, but who has no real
He's been around for a long time.
public training. Like when you're in a publicly traded company or even a private company, but you're on a main platform, maybe you wouldn't have gone through those courses or had that guidance. Okay, fine. Or had an HR department prior. But my dude, you've been doing wrestling for years, decades now, and you were with WWE for what, 5 years? I think he said 5, 6 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why he is now on Twitter like showing ass, because he was never able to before. And again, do you, boo boo, have your opinion? If that's how he really feels, cool. If not, it was just, probably something like they were referring to with he was trying to be like MJF. So, if so, that sucks because it backfired.
And I don't think, I'll say real quick, just talking about Ricochet in general, I don't think he's been that much better in AEW than he was in WWE. I mean, he's been a little better, I guess, but I mean, he's with Gates of Agony, who just, it feels weird now. Like I just kind of like don't get the vibe with them anymore, and he's got a title that doesn't mean anything. So is he really that much better off in AEW than he was in WWE? I mean, he says he was, or he is, but I don't think he's in that much higher of a position than he was in WWE. I think he's just kind of there. I mean, I don't know.
No.
So I don't know.
I think he's
Hey,
in a
good for
better.
him.
Yeah, I do think he's in a better position than he was in WWE. I don't think he's necessarily higher on the card, but I think in like management's mindset, I think he's in a better position and he's in a better viewpoint. So I think he is more likely to be used and to have something found for him to do, as opposed to in WWE they wouldn't be as pressed. So, but yeah. But Maddie, dude, like you've been blowing it up, man. We'll go through your super chats really quick. I think you got something extra nice in that
I know,
wake and
man.
bake
What
bowl
happened to you? What did
this
you do to
morning,
do
man.
all that? This is cool, man. That's
Yeah, man,
cool.
I appreciate you, my friend. But yeah, you got that extra something nice over there, dude. Starting the day off right. But really quick, he said Raven versus Perry Saturn for custody of Moppy at WrestleMania 42. Do you remember Moppy, Sean? I loved Moppy. Do you
I
remember
do a little
Moppy?
bit. I do a little bit.
A
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
don't. I didn't. I just know a little bit. I remember
Dude,
seeing it here and there.
I can picture Moppy. How do you say a little bit? I remember just, I don't know why, just fucking loving Moppy so much. It was so obnoxious. Hold on, I gotta bring it up.
Yeah, we gotta see. We gotta go back to
Picture.
Mr.
Dude, I
Moppy.
can't remember. I can't believe you don't remember Moppy.
Well, I do kind
Or
of,
like
but I
you gotta remember the full face, bro.
I don't remember
There
the
we go.
face as much. Yeah, I gotta see this. Gotta bring it back to my memory again. Raven and Perry Saturn. Those were the days.
Dude, right?
Days. Yeah, that was. It's just
All right.
It's yeah. Come but no, Raven and Perry Saturn will not happen. But
Oh, it took us away, but
oh my gosh.
there
I
it
don't remember it looking
is.
like that though. Okay.
Moppy.
Wow.
Yeah, Moppy. Poor guy. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
He was obsessed with it. Oh my god. Those are the good old days, dude.
Yeah.
Oops.
I mean, I did. I mean, he was good. I mean, he wasn't,
He wasn't
like one of,
it
but
wasn't yeah, he wasn't anything like he was just like what do they call it? A guilty pleasure
yeah,
at
right.
that point.
That's right.
Um but Maddie also said, how would you book RVD's last WWE run? Rumor return. I have not heard that rumor. Man, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't if we like honestly, like I can't even picture RVD being back in WWE's landscape nowadays. Um so I don't even know, dude. Like
I don't think we
I
need
don't
to. I mean, had a
I
good
don't
career. I
know.
mean, we don't need to see him anymore. I mean, it was a good career. I mean, he still keeps himself in good shape. I mean, good for him. He's still in really good shape. But I mean, I don't. No offense to him. I mean, dude, he's a great guy. I don't need to see him wrestle really anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds bad because I mean, he can still easily wrestle another match. I mean, I think he's kept him. He seems like he's doing well. I mean, obviously, you see him on podcasts and stuff. Like he's props to him for sure. I just don't see anything they would. I mean, could he wrestle a random match, a fun match at some point? Maybe, but he's not going to have a run in WWE anymore. I mean, that's past. Just don't see
Yeah,
it.
dude. I don't I honestly I really don't even know. Oh, yeah, dude, this is a Dexter hoodie. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
It is a Dexter hoodie. Yeah, I'd show you the back, but it's kind of weird with the camera. But yeah, it is. I love Dexter. You had said I meant to respond to you earlier, E. Trying to find it again. But yeah, I have seen. Oh yeah, you said is that a Dexter hoodie like Dexter from the TV show? Y'all ever watch Dexter Resurrection? They started filming season 2 sometime soon. Yes, I am. Sean, probably you don't. You're not a Dexter person, I would assume.
I have not. I just don't watch much TV. Honestly, I just don't.
Yeah,
I know about it. I've never seen it. No.
yeah. Dexter is a certain taste
Oh,
of
okay.
viewing pleasure. But yeah, no, I was and still more so in the past low key obsessed with Dexter. I've seen the entire series way too many times. I was just
Well,
infuriated on how the original season ended. I so much that I didn't even care to watch any of the spinoffs until just recently, like within the past 6 months. I just watched which one was it? Resurrection, I think the one or no, I watched the one with his kid because I was like, oh, okay, they're a second chance, they're coming back, they're gonna like right their wrongs. They go through the spinoff season, and or I guess not, maybe not spinoff, but pretty much like the second installment. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me with the way that one ended. So yeah, I'm very happy that they did the one, I forget the name of it now, but the one where Dexter and his son are in New York. I know you're not gonna know, Sean, but for E, um,
mhm.
so yeah, I'm super pumped that they are filming again because I love Dexter. But I think we had one more. Oh yeah, Maddie. Yeah, last one from Maddie. I appreciate you again, dude. You said Ricochet equals Ryback. We're not at that point yet, though. And you said, is it Rock or Flair on the phone with Randy? That's a good question to kind of wrap up on, Sean. Who do you think Randy had made this phone call to?
No, that is a good question. I did was trying to think about that. God bless America. I hope it's not The Rock. Please don't let it be The Rock. Please. I don't want that anymore. I'm already frustrated about that enough. Don't make me frustrated
Yeah.
about it again. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm intrigued though. If they bring something up about who it was, but I tried to think about it. I can't. I don't have any good answers of who it would be. I mean, Flair wouldn't make any sense now at this point either. I don't. I mean, Ric Flair. I don't need to see him on my TV really at this point anymore either. But I don't know. I don't know who it would be. Do you have any ideas?
I mean, besides the basics that everyone has thrown out there, right? Um, the Kevin Owens, the Sammy. What was the other one? People even threw. I mean, obviously like Ric Flair, The Rock. Um, his dad was one that I saw out there.
Oh yeah,
Oh
they
my
did
gosh,
talk
there
about
was
on Wade's show about his dad maybe being his dad, but I don't think they would do that. I
no.
I don't think so. But now one thing I did think would be funny, which it wouldn't be. I just think it'd be funny, like if it because I mean Ted DiBiase Jr. is not coming back, but I just thought it would be funny if just talk about the backstory they all have together if it was him, but it's not going to be because he's not going to be back on WWE television. But I just thought that would be kind of interesting if you're going to play in a backstory of some of that, but. I don't. I just hope it's not the. I mean, The Rock. I just hope it's not. I just pray it's not. That would be awful, and I don't
That
want
is not
that.
who.
Not The Rock.
Oh yeah, dude, me too. Yeah, I'm right there. Everyone knows how I feel about The Rock. Like it's not even like I dislike The Rock. I dislike a lot of the parts of The Rock, but like I don't know. It's just weird. We're not gonna get into it right now. But yeah, dude, honestly, I don't know. Like I would love for it to be Kevin Owens because that would mean like, he's coming
He's
back
back.
soon and he's good.
Yep.
But I don't want to rush it with his neck injury. I don't know if the reports are true or not that it was a little bit more serious than what they originally thought. So he's gonna be out for a while. So I never like to be one to like try to really like like I hope he comes back soon when it's injury related because they just feel pressure, like I'm sure like they feel
Mhm.
enough pressure to come back, so don't want to put that out in the universe. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Like you said, I don't really know either, and it's really intriguing to see. Like I yeah, I just hope it's not The Rock. And but like when with Flair, like Flair would make more sense. Dirtiest player in the game. He just recently turned. They have obviously the evolution tie back. That would make sense. I just it just doesn't feel like we're just past that at this point. I just wanted to be someone who the payoff will live up to the hype. Not that we're like sitting here at the edge of our seat, like, oh my God, who's on the phone? But you're doing that for a reason. So make it be someone worthwhile. So yeah,
Yep.
man. But any final thoughts before we dive off here?
No, I just think I think the Mania card. I mean, I think the next. Oh, I did want to say real quick. I do think. I just want to say the AJ Becky stuff has been fine. It's not great, but Becky's making it great for me. Because her heel stuff's just so great. So I love what they're doing. Overall what they've done with that. And I just did want to give Liv and Stephanie. I don't think it's been. I mean, I think the vignettes have been really good between them, and I thought obviously the brawl was good on Monday. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I just. I like Stephanie a lot. I just think something's missing, and I think Liv needs to win the title at Mania. I think Liv's got something going as a heel. It's been really good. I like what they've done with her, and I just think they need to build a story with Stephanie winning the title. And she won it way too fast, and I think Liv needs to win this. And but I think the future's bright for Stephanie. I think she's a big time star. So I'm excited where they go with that. And Tiffany Stratton's character sucks. I just hope they do something better with because Tiffany Stratton I do think has a lot of potential in WWE, and I think they're it's just not. It's been bad as a baby face. She's a terrible baby face, even worse than Charlotte, and that's saying something. That's a low
God.
bar, man. That's a low bar.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really quick. I will go back to my stance months ago. Like I didn't think they should have put the title on her when they did. I get, shit happened with Naomi getting pregnant and they had to make a detour. Bianca's been out, like a lot of changes have been made. I get that, but you sacrifices too strong, but you really dampened what could have been a really hot rise to the top for Stephanie Vaquer and a really strong babyface build. Like I was like, oh, like have her go on the road to WrestleMania build, have her have a strong showing at the Rumble, win the Rumble, go from there. If she doesn't win the Rumble, maybe have her win the Chamber, but in the meantime, have her kind of go through some struggles, see, like the journey, and like the agony of some losses, but really build to that first title win. And I just think it came way too soon. Not her fault because she she's like, I don't want to say improved because she's already like she's fantastic in the ring, but like just the improvement in time she's put into learning more English and just really adapting to the WWE style and audience. And it's hard to do. Like I can't even imagine coming from a completely different country, having to learn a completely new language, and not even to mention going through like all the work visas and all like the paperwork and shit that you have to go through, but just the journey, man. Of course she's not the only one, but to just do all that so soon and then just be thrust to the top so soon, it's a lot, dude. And I think she's gonna be fine in the future. She's gonna be fantastic in the future. But I just think that they really missed out on an opportunity. And again, they'll have an excuse, but they could have saved her. But yeah, man. That I think that's pretty much everything.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me
Yeah.
on again. This was a blast. This is always fun getting to chat some good wrestling. It's always fun.
Yeah, I was going through. He had said Ted DiBiase Jr. from earlier because he was found not guilty. Yeah, I thought about joking about that too. Yeah, I was actually surprised he was found not guilty.
Wow.
I didn't follow too much of it, to be honest with you though. But I thought I had heard that they had like a lot of evidence against him. Apparently, they didn't. So hey, good for him if he didn't do it. So I don't know much about it, but yeah, man, thank you so much for popping on. I really appreciate it, Maddie. You're the MVP, dude. I appreciate you. Tell mom we said hey again. Enjoy your day. Everyone, Muhammad was in here earlier. Fernando, E, all you guys. I appreciate you all. And Sean, any final words?
That's all I got. This was fun. I hope to be on again here sometime in the future. I appreciate you, Ash. You're always one of my favorites.
Likewise, dude. I appreciate you. We'll figure something out. I don't know. Between now and Mania, it's gonna be pretty busy and hectic, but maybe we can do something. Maybe before I head up there. But if not, we'll see. Well, maybe we'll do something after Mania. So we'll figure something out. But yeah, dude. Until next time, everyone. Take care. Stay safe out there and enjoy some wrestling. Bye, guys.
Later.